So industry continues to clearly address the R&D investment rigorously, and the big really orientation that I think now all companies are embracing. Some have embraced it earlier, but everybody now is gradually talking about open innovation. Everybody understands that there is no company in the world that can discover and can address all these challenges by its own. There is no university in the world that can address these challenges on its own. So it's all about collaborating more intensely. It's all about sharing the expertise, putting together the best brains around these challenges in order to address them, and indeed being able to produce better biopharmaceuticals to patients that suffer. So why am I so enthusiastic, and why my colleagues, CEOs of the biopharmaceutical industries, are enthusiastic to collaborate through IMI? First of all, it's a very unique project. I'm thrilled to have our colleagues from the Critical Path Initiative, and this is something that indeed the FDA have been talking about. Here, the European Union have not only talked about it, but have acted by creating IMI. The objectives are fully aligned on the needs to reshape the industry in Europe. We're talking about addressing the bottlenecks early on. We're talking about increasing the competitiveness of research-based biopharmaceutical in Europe. And so by doing that, again, our goal is to be able to engineer faster and better medicines that will heal patients with rising diseases. So we're talking about better prediction of safety, better prediction of efficacy, but also improving knowledge management. And indeed, where one of the avenues is to work with more and more with also IT companies, because this is not a skill set that usually necessary, certainly biopharmaceutical industry have, or that university have, but that IT companies can provide too. And we're also talking about addressing the gaps in education and training, which is a big issue in the biopharmaceutical industry throughout Europe. And so IMI is enabling, really, it's a big enabler of fostering university, academia, and industry, or I should say enterprise, to work together for the betterment of healthcare, for the betterment of research in Europe. And so we are absolutely committed, and through the representation of our industry in Europe called FPIA, we are committed to match the European Commission 1 billion funding through cash and in-kind contribution. But also we want to provide the high caliber R&D expertise and being able to contribute together with the high caliber academia to address these major challenges of better predicting safety, better predicting efficacy. I'm thrilled about the early results of the first call. I'm looking forward to seeing the early results by the end of the year, I understand, Michel, and clearly every one of my colleagues, CEOs of biopharmaceutical companies, looking forward to seeing the first results. We are absolutely strong believers into the multidisciplinary approaches that no one can address these challenges on our own. And so it's by working together that we have a better chance to indeed harness the power of science, harness the power of information to engineer better biopharmaceuticals. There are indeed challenges. There are, and I remember early on, I saw a couple of senior academic people, not the academics per se, but usually the management, the rectors of different universities, and not everybody was enthusiastic about the prospect. We're making progress in some countries more than others, and I would really urge you, everyone in this room, to push the agenda and push the spirit of the collaboration to work together indeed. We talked about managing IP issues. For me, I believe they need to be clarified, but I view them as secondary as we are talking pre-competitive research. We have to recognize that what has been achieved so far is remarkable. It is indeed a very unique, it's a first one of its kind. It's a very unique initiative. I'm thrilled that it's managed also by a leader that understands all the facets of it, including the vastness of the task and of the challenge. And we're looking forward to continues in the many years to come to find some big, bold ideas that can transform indeed pre-competitive research that can better predict safety, better predict efficacy around rising diseases. There is much at stake for R&D in Europe. There is much at stake, I would say, for innovation in Europe. But more importantly, there is a lot of stakes for millions of patients around the world that suffer from central nervous system diseases every day and are waiting for our efforts. Thank you very much.